Welcome everyone today to Movement and Menopause. Today we are going to do a very slow movement to restorative practice that will help manage the symptoms of hot flashes. So I'm going to preface this by saying you can't stop them. They're going to come. If you're lucky, they won't, but many of us, the hot flashes are coming whether we like it or not. But I want to kind of go through some tips to help manage them. So part of yoga is also being with the discomfort of things that happen in your life. And certainly I can attest that hot flashes are uncomfortable. So we're just going to focus a little bit on basically developing that relationship with yourself again, with all the changes that we have going on. So a regular yoga practice, and that includes movement, that includes breathing, that includes meditation, can help reduce the symptoms of stress and anxiety. And that can actually lessen the quality of hot flashes. They can become less strong, and maybe the frequency is less. I'm not so sure about that. But when you can kind of learn to manage yourself, those other things don't seem so bad. So we're going to start today. Let's start with just talking about the props that we're going to have throughout this practice. So I am going to post in the description, other things that we can use for the yoga props that I have, and I'll probably put even a music playlist if you want to have something else playing in the background, especially once we get to that restorative segment. So I have 2 blocks. I have a bolster that I'm sitting on. I have a strap that we're going to use, and I have 2 blankets today. So those are the things that we're going to use during today's practice. All movement is going to be just very slow, very gentle, and then we're going to do like one long restorative pose at the end. So we're going to start today's practice just with a cooling breath technique. So it's called Satali Pranayama, and it's a cooling practice. So we're going to start, I'll just explain it first, taking three deep breaths, inhaling with the open mouth, exhaling through the nostrils. Do that 3 times, and then you're going to stick your tongue out, and maybe, if not everybody's tongue can do this, I know, but like roll it so that you're like creating a tube in your tongue. And if that's not possible, just doing like a little O with your mouth will help as well. So it's going to be 3 rounds of the inhale, open mouth, exhale, mouth closed, stick your tongue out, inhale through the tube, then drop your chin to your chest, close your mouth, and hold. We're going to hold for maybe like 6 seconds, and then lift your chin, and then exhale through the nostrils. So I will talk us through each of them. And that's basically 1 round of breath. So let's get started. So just make sure that you're in a comfortable seat. I'm sitting on top of my bolster. Maybe you want to sit on some blankets. When I do any kind of breath work, I like to raise my hips up above my knees because it just kind of leaves my belly more room to breathe. So just start by noticing what your breath is right now, without making any changes, without starting the Satali breath. Just notice. And then We will start that breath. So we'll do 3 rounds of inhaling with the mouth open, exhaling with the mouth closed. So start with that. Inhale, mouth open. Close it, exhale through the nostrils. One more time. Mouth open, inhale. Close and exhale. And then stick your tube tongue out and take a deep breath in, sucking in the cool outside air. And then drop your chin to your chest, close your mouth, and just hold. And lift your chin and exhale slowly through the nostrils. And then just return to your normal breath. And let's do that again. So 3 rounds in through the mouth, out through the nose. And one more time in through the mouth. Close out through the nose. Do that little tube with your tongue, taking in all the cool air outside. Drop your chin to your chest, close your mouth, just hold that breath. And lift up your chin and release the breath through the nostrils. And then let's return to your normal breath. And we'll do that Satali breath just one more time. Sometimes I wonder if these cooling breaths are just meant to kill time while the hot flash passes, and that's okay because it gives you something else to focus on. Okay, so let's start. One last round of that breath, inhaling through the mouth. Close and exhale through the nose. 2 more times, inhale through the mouth. Exhale through the nose. One last inhale through the mouth. Exhale through the nose. Let's tube that tongue and take a nice deep inhale. Chin to your chest, hold. And lift up your chin, exhaling through the nostrils, nice and slow. And then return to your normal breath. Okay, before we start any actual movement, I want to just take the blankets and get them set up for how we're going to use them later. So the first blanket, so normally I like to call like the original square Tadasana of the blanket. So I'm gonna open it up from Tadasana of the blanket onto its long side like this, and then make a blanket roll out of that. So we're going to use this later for the restorative pose, for our final restorative pose. And then the second blanket that's in its original square Tadasana, I'm just going to fold this in half. So I'm just making it a little bit thicker and more of a rectangle. So I'm gonna, again, put this one also to the side, and we'll use that at some point after more of the movement. So your blankets are ready. My blocks are gonna just stay off to the side, and I'm gonna move the bolster out of my way as well. So let's lie on our back. Legs out long, almost like we're coming to Shavasana, but no, we're not there yet. Arms out to your side. And just breathe. Let your feet drop out to the sides. Let the entire back body sink into the earth. And just take this time to relax. Relax your ankles. Relax the entire back of your legs into the mat. Let your pelvis sink down. Let your fingertips relax. Opening up your hands to the sky. Bringing your shoulders away from your ears. Relax your jaw. Relax your forehead. And take a breath. And then let's take a deep breath in, reaching your arms up alongside your ears, pointing down through your toes. So from your toes to your fingertips, you're basically stretching your body in opposite directions, taking a full body, good morning stretch. One more reach. And then on the exhale, let's hug your knees into your chest. Maybe rocking a little bit side to side. Creating a gentle massage of your lower back. And let's place your hands on top of your knees, on top of either knee, and just open up both knees out to the side, pressing them away from you, just doing gentle hip circles, hugging the knees back in together and back into your chest. Out to the side, pressing them away, back to center and into your chest. And just keep moving these circles very slowly. Maybe you're moving with the pace of your breath, but you just want to kind of feel each movement as your femur bone kind of lubricates in the hip joint. And the next time you come into center, start taking the circles in the opposite direction so your knees are together, pressing them away from your body, opening up out to the side, and then pulling them back towards your armpits, back to center. Pressing them away, opening out, pulling back up, back to center. And doing that for a few more rounds. Again, we're just kind of lubricating the hip joints. Moving slowly. Anytime you're dealing with hot flashes, fast and high energy is not the way you want to go. Okay, so bringing both knees back to the center of your chest. I'm going to just hold on to the left leg and drop my right leg down, straight down to the mat. And let's just start by circling the ankle in either direction, just bringing some movement into the ankle. And I'm going to grab my strap here. And then wrapping the strap around the ball mound of my left foot, I'm going to press that left heel up towards the sky. I'm going to take my hand, each hand on either side of the strap, and just holding here, feeling a deep stretch throughout the length of the back of my leg. Pressing the heel away from me. And that may enhance the stretch just a tiny bit. Taking a nice deep breath in and exhale. One more deep breath in and exhale. I'm going to take both ends of the strap, placing them in my left hand. My right arm is going to go out to a T to the right, and then just letting my left leg drop out to the side and hold. Press the heel away. Breathing in and exhale. And bringing that leg back up through center, switching hands with the strap, bringing my left arm out to a T to the left, and letting the left leg drop over the right hip. You might feel a nice stretch here in the outer left thigh, outer left hip, and down the outer left thigh. And then let's bring that back up through center, bringing that knee back down, dropping your foot back down to the mat, and let's bring both knees back into the chest. And just a little bit of rocking motion here again. And let's lengthen the left leg long on your mat and circle through the right ankle. Circling through in both directions. And then taking that strap again and wrapping it around the ball mound of your right foot, pressing that heel up towards the sky. Each hand grabs a side of the strap and just stretching through the entire length of the back of the leg. Deep breath in, then exhale. Inhale and exhale through the nose. So anytime you want to bring in that certain tube tongue, you can feel free to do that if that helps you feel cooler. And let's take both straps into the right hand, letting that right leg drop out to the side and left arm out into a T. And even when your leg is out to the side, you still want to think about pressing that heel away from your body and pointing your toes towards your shin. Thinking about your breath, inhaling and exhaling. I mean, when you're having a hot flash or night sweat, you basically want to focus on anything but that. But sometimes you will sit in the discomfort and we'll actually do that in another video. And on your next inhale, bringing that foot back up through center, switching your hands, right arm out into a T, left arm grabs the strap while your right leg goes over to the left. So we're going to have another video where we will work on sitting in the discomfort of a hot flash. Don't skip it. It's going to be good. And on your next inhale, let's bring that leg back up through center. Release the strap. Both legs out long on your mat. And just see, maybe you feel a little bit longer now that we've done that stretch through both legs. And let's bring both legs back into your chest, hugging them tight. I'm going to drop the right foot down to the mat and do half happy baby on the left. So my left arm is coming to the inside of my left leg and reaching to the outside edge of my left foot. And then I'm going to use that to my hand to pull down on that foot to kind of bring my left knee closer to my left armpit. And here, we can even let the right knee drop out to the side. Just kind of bringing the stretch on both inner thighs. And then on your next exhale, you can release both feet on the floor back to center. And then let's do half happy baby on the right. So reaching the outer edge of the right foot, pulling that knee down towards your armpit, and then let the left knee drop out to the side. Taking a nice deep inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And then let's release both feet down onto the mat. And let's roll over to your right side and very gently come up to a seated position. So we're going to do 3 restorative poses, but one is going to be a much longer one. So the first one that we're going to do is lie on our belly. So this is where we're going to take that blanket that we folded to just like a thick little rectangle and place it on the mat, maybe like halfway, and you'll end up adjusting as you lay down onto it. So we're going to start it, like I said, halfway down the mat, and then I want you to lie on your belly, but resting your pelvis onto where the blanket is. And sometimes this blanket fold may be too thick, maybe too thin. You'll adjust the fold of your blanket as you need. And then you can just kind of bring both elbows out to the side, resting your head on top of your hands, just leaving space for your face to breathe and for your armpits to get air. And you'll just want to feel what you feel, and we'll probably stay here for just about 2 minutes. So let your ankles fall out to the side. Let the blanket just be a support for your pelvis. Let your hands be a support for your head. If you're uncomfortable at all, please make sure that you're making any adjustments that are needed. And come back to your breath. And when you are ready, slowly release your hands to the side of your chest. And then come back, bring yourself up to all fours and sit back on your heels. I'm going to move that blanket out of the way and grab a block. And for now, we're just going to go into a child's pose, but I want your head raised. So again, this is kind of helping to let air circulate through. So child's pose, we can take toes together, knees apart, bring your hips to your heels, and then slowly start to walk your hands so that your head is resting on your block. And I just like to hug the block at this point. So I have my block on the medium setting. It's really whatever's comfortable for you. And you really just want like the top of your forehead resting on it. Again, any air circulating around your face, keeping your armpits open to the air. This is kind of keeping any loose shirt open as well. And we'll just be here for a minute. Any adjustments that need to be made, don't hesitate to make them. This is not the class that we're going to sit with our discomfort. We want to make sure that we are comfortable. And feel free, if one of these first two kind of quick restorative poses you want to spend more time in, feel free to just hit pause. And then when you are ready, bringing your hands back more towards next to your face and very gently letting your head hang as you push yourself back up to a seated position. And letting your head be the last to rise up. And then we'll come into our final restorative pose. And this is where we'll use just about all the blankets, or all the props, maybe all the props. So I'm going to take my blocks, putting them at the head of the mat. First one on its medium setting, second one on its lowest. I'm going to take my bolster and prop it up on top of there, give it a little push, make sure it's good. My one folded blanket I'm going to put off to the side. I may or may not use that. So I'm going to just sit, bringing my butt right up to the bottom of the bolster. And then I'm going to take that rolled blanket, so soles of my feet are together, my legs are splayed out to the side. And we did a lot of stretching here. So since we kind of did that, you could, if you wanted to, just stay in that Baddha Konasana pose. But if you wanted to bring a little bit of extra support for that, that's where I'm going to take my rolled blanket, roll it around the front of my ankles, and then press it up and squeeze it in behind, and then it kind of gives my knees kind of a stopping point when they're coming out to the side. So the second blanket you could use to just, if you're cold, you want to just cover yourself up with it. That's fine. I'm going to use it just to kind of cover up my feet, the rest of my feet with it. And then slowly walking yourself back to rest on the bolster, resting your head down. I like to open up my arms, open up my hands out to the sky. And again, we're going to be here for a longer amount of time. So this will be not only our final restorative pose, but our Shavasana as well. So just make sure that you are comfortable. We will be here for probably a little over 5 minutes. Any adjustment you need to make, feel free to make it. Letting the mat support your feet. Maybe the blankets are supporting your knees and keeping you warm. And the bolster is supporting your back, your head, your shoulders. And your hands, the back of your hands to the mat. Any poses that will keep your head above your heart are also going to feel better when you're in that hot flash time. have about 1.5 minutes left. And as always, you can feel free to stay here as long as you like. But if you are ready to come out, very gently take your hands on either side of your thighs to just close up your knees together. And as we're kind of high up on the bolster, we would just want to take care in coming off. So rolling over to one side, coming down onto your elbow to catch you, and then very gently pressing into your palms to come up to a seat. And just take note of how you feel. Maybe just one of those restorative poses is something you can just take a few moments to do to get yourself through when a hot flash or a night sweat arises. Let's just take a couple of breaths together, reaching our arms up alongside us. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, palms to heart center. One more deep breath in, reaching up. Exhale, palms to heart center. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.